Hey y'all. So I am so excited to tell you that I am launching a Be Your Own Intuitive membership. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this, except I'll endeavor to tell you right now how excited I am about this. I had a Be Your Own Intuitive webinar course previously, which provided a lot of the foundation for this membership. However, even though the webinar was really beautiful and wonderful experience, not everybody was able to participate because of time differences and work schedules and so on and so forth. So this membership is going to be on-demand videos for you every single week for you to watch when you can on your own time. These are going to be videos teaching you how to access and work with your intuition, because as you know, everybody, I believe, everybody is intuitive. It's just about understanding what your tools are, how to access them, how to really work with your intuition in a way where you can be your own guidance system, where you can truly be your own intuitive. And I'm really excited to share all that I know with you in this membership course. I'm going to be talking about how to read the tarot, what the tarot is all about, how to read it intuitively, how to, again, really develop your own intuition and really hone it into a nicely working muscle group for you. I'm going to be talking about how I read tarot on YouTube and really just anything and everything that I know about the wild and wonderful world of intuitive development and tarot and everything esoteric. So I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So I have a link to the waiting list in the description box below this video. The waiting list is going to serve as holding your place within the membership course unofficially before I, do a hard launch pretty soon. So with that, I want the groups to, have a source, sort of intimacy where everyone can bond and connect if they like. And so I'm not going to have membership just open ongoing. I will open and close it sort of in waves. So this is your opportunity to join right as we launch. And I'm just so excited to be with you on this journey and share with you all that I know. I will also have a monthly Zoom meeting for everybody in the membership where I come on. You can ask me anything you want to. We can talk about all the things. We can talk about your experiences. We can answer really any and all questions you could possibly have. This is also a way for me to connect with you guys on a more personal and intimate basis, which as a teacher, I really love to do. So again, I am so excited to offer this to you. I so hope that you'll join me in this membership. I'm just so excited about it, and to really pass along all the knowledge that I've acquired onto you so that you can really be your own intuitive and be your own guidance system, because that to me is just about the most important thing that there is as a spiritual being having a human experience. So with that being said, the link is in the description box below for the wait list. And I just thank you in advance so much for joining me over there. And I'm so excited to connect with you all. And be well. Until next time. Hey Virgos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're gonna be taking a look at your first half of November general reading here. So in your meditation, I was on a racetrack, and then I saw the image of an iguana on top of like a toy race car. And then I saw the car start to move with this iguana on it. And then the iguana decided to stop and then get off of the car. And then in favor of this race car, this iguana, as is symbolizing the Virgo collective, decided to use like a push cart to get to where it was going. Interestingly enough, it was like they had this optimal, turbocharged, insert car terminology here, not my area, which to like speed off, right? But it instead chose like, no, I'm gonna go with this little push cart that's not motorized, it's not fancy. In fact, I can barely fit my body in it, but I'm gonna choose this push cart to move around this racetrack in. It's interesting because lizard energy is very much about timing, about knowing when to move, when to be still, right? It's about that conservation of energy. But it feels like with this Taurus, what I want to say to you is there's more than one way to go about moving. There's more than one way to go about, keeping a pace that feels right for you. It feels like there's something going on for you during this time where you are, considering these things. Like, this is how everybody else does it. This is how I've always done it. What if I were to really give some thought and energy to what might best work for me in terms of my own optimization? But also, if you think about it, if you really, really think about it, being on a push cart going around a racetrack instead of the race car might afford one, the benefit of being able to see a lot more on the way to getting to where they're going, right? If you move at a slower pace, if you're taking a vehicle that may by all accounts move more slowly than most would think was ideal, or looks different, or feels different, or is an unexpected choice, so to speak, it does seem like there could be a way of going about something in your situation, whether it's, something to do with timing or the way in which you move about in the world, that feels like there's something that's a better fit, and maybe not on the surface, right? Who would actually pick like a push cart to go around a racetrack in? But it feels like there are options and a potential available to you on the other side of you being willing to look at something, not in terms of what is best for everybody or what is the safe bet, but what is best for me, what feels right for me, and what time and what tempo and what way do I move in the world and in my life that feels like it's just right for me. I feel like anything that is asking you to move in a way, be in a way, or fit into any sort of, box or situation that others dictate is not for you. Like, during this time, it just feels like you're a team player, like 99.9% of the time. And you're really being encouraged during this time to really be a team of one and really consider how you are moving about things and how you're getting things done, and the way that you're thinking about things. Is it yielding what you want? Is going about the way that you're doing things, whether this is work, personal life, your own habits, whatever this is that yielding what you want? Because if it's not, then that's really good information for you, and you're being asked to look at how you might go about things differently in big ways and small ways that might yield different results that are unique to you, that are tailor fit for you. So it feels like a really good opportunity here. And with that being said, let's take a look and see what your cards say. Hey Virgos, let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is for the first half of November. First half of November. Oh, very interesting. We got the turtle here talking about taking your time, getting to where you're going, and moving along at your own pace, from lizards to turtles. I'm here for it. So first of all, this is water energy that you have coming through here for you. It's interesting because the turtle is one of those animal energies that's a bit of a hybrid, because it is associated with water, but it also moves on the land as well. And you guys being earth signs, it feels like there's something very simpatico about this coming through for you. Now, turtle equates to that of the Four of Wands in the Tarot, which is really beautiful. It speaks of celebration, happy home, happy family, and having, cause for joy, reason to be happy. But it's also about celebrating exactly where you are before you know what's next. So you're not worried about the past, you're not worried about what's coming. It's really that, it's that 11-11 key of going, you know what, I have so much joy and appreciation for exactly where I am, that I'm not thinking about any other time or any other potential or any anxiety or care or worry at all. And then of course, the energetic component of this is about speed. It's about timing. It's about moving forward in a way that is, dictated by no one other than you. You set the rules, you set the tone, you set the format, you determine the vehicle. And it feels really, really important for you during this time to really lean into that. As Virgos, you are natural leaders, right? So I feel like there's something in that where the more that you can step into what feels right for you, even if that means saying no to other people, other potentials, other opportunities. It feels like what do they say? It's like that old adage, if saying yes to someone else is saying no to you, then maybe that's not the best choice. Versus if saying no to someone else means saying yes to you, then that's going to yield, different feelings moving ahead for you that aren't, rooted in obligation or resentment or, that discord that comes between ignoring what we need from a mental, spiritual, physical level and just going, doing things for other people, living within certain time constraints, meeting certain deadlines. It really feels like you're really, to simplify it, you're being asked to do you right now. Feels really important. So let's see what's going on. Oh my, this is fascinating. We're getting all the animals that have to do with timing right now. It's like, wow. So here we have 7 of Wands. So remember, the wands connect us to our souls, right? It's why we're here. It's our purpose. It's what we're passionate about, who we're passionate about. It has a lot to do with the work that we love to do and the actions that we do or do not take, right? So it's interesting because crocodile energy is very much about when to move, when to be still, right? It's all about timing. So we have a very big lizard here, right? We saw a lizard in your opening meditation. Then we have the turtle. It's all about timing. This mama crocodile is telling all these babies who are trying to go after this goat, like, trust me, this is not the right time. There's something better that's going to come along. Do not get up out of this water and run towards this goat. Don't do it. So there's a lesson in here that I feel like is coming through for you guys in this way. But what's really interesting as well is that we have the 7 of Wands, which is about perseverance, a lot of high effort, right? It's exerting a lot of energy. It's about moving forward and taking action, knowing that you will surmount any obstacles or challenges that come your way, right? But it is a lot of effort. This is a high energy feeling. And I love how it's being dictated here with the crocodile medicine, which is to say, taking, time to consider how you move forward or to do things differently or to slow it down or to change the tempo or to alter something in some way. It may feel like you're losing some time, outside of the race here, so to speak, but you're really just optimizing so that you can move forward and actually win in your own way, right? In a way that works for you. Your relationship to how you work and what you exert your energy into is really coming up in a very big way. And it does feel like it is linked very much through timing and pacing. Are you operating at a pace and in a way that feels good for you, that feels organic, I want to say? Does it feel organic? And then we have the 9 of Swords. So 9 of Swords, traditionally, this is, lack of sleep. We're talking about organic timing and feeling good. And this is lack of sleep. This is nightmares. This is a high level of anxiety that keeps you from sleep. Now, what's really interesting here that I'm noticing is that here we have the baby crocs, right? And then we have the mom here, right? Or the dad. I mean, could be either or. And then we have the polar bear here with the papa or mama bear with the little baby who's sleeping well, right? It's an interesting mirrored dynamic, right? Between the young and the old. But I feel like the message here with this, especially because you have the 9 of Swords, you have the 7 of Wands, both of these numbers, both of these keys speak to not feeling a true sense of equilibrium, right? We have 2 odd numbers that's really coming through. Whereas the animal energy is 4 of Wands, and number 4, turtle, is about balance, right? I feel like you're being called into balance and equilibrium here. Are you the kind of person, and if not, do you know anybody who has a habit of just going, right? Even when they start to not feel well, when their body gives them early warning signs of like, you might be getting sick, or hey, you might need some more sleep, or hey, right? Those little warning signs that we all get. Do you ignore and just kind of go through and push ahead and like, no, this needs to be done. I don't have to, whatever that is. You're being asked to slow it way down and take some stock of how your inner equilibrium is really doing. How connected are you to what signals your body and mind are giving you? because it feels like there's a certain aspect of discord that could be brought into alignment with just shifting some sort of pattern, habit, belief system even, right? Of like, I have to keep going until I can't anymore sort of belief system, for example. Wow. 5 of Swords, another odd number. Okay. So 5 of Swords, traditionally speaking, first of all, 5 is the number of change. 5 of Swords traditionally is about, you or other people acting outside of their integrity, elements that are not of the highest and best good of anybody going on. Remember that the swords rule the realm of the mind. So it's about our communication, our thought patterns, right? The mind is an interesting place, especially for Virgos. I have heard this many times. I myself say it because I believe it. You guys as Virgos are the most air sign of the earth signs, in my opinion. You've got a lot of air energy here. It's like you guys are very, you're so sharp-witted. You're so analytical. You really are able to harness the power of your mind while at the same time bringing to fruition everything that you think about. It's like you have both superpowers of being an earth sign and an air sign. It's really brilliant. It's what makes you unique and special within the zodiac, right? So the fact that this is coming through for you in this way, you have the 9 and the 5 of Swords, and then you have the 7 of Wands here. It really feels like I want to kind of look at really what we don't have present here, right? We're missing Cups and we're missing Pentacles, right? Now let's think about these two things, right? The swords are, again, like we said about the mind, but it's not the most comfortable suit, right? When you have a lot of swords coming up, it means there's a lot of mental activity that isn't necessarily, feeling like a long, slow walk on the beach, for example. You have 2 wands here as well, which is about, timing, action, passion, movement, spark. But those are the more 2 active of the elements. We're missing Cups and Pentacles. Interesting, right? Cups are about our emotions and our intuition and how we feel, right? If you're walking around with a full goblet of water and you walk too fast or you're rushing, you're going to lose some. There's a certain sense of, embodying that water energy that requires that you move mindfully, right? Cup energy is also about being in the present moment. We don't see that here. Then we're missing Pentacles. Another element that's very much about being in the moment, patience, timing, trusting that you're going to get to where you're going, even if and especially if you take the time to consider how best to get there as it feels for you, but not dictated by any external sources, right? We just need some Cups and some Pentacles in this reading. It really feels like that is the medicine for you, right? This 5 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, look at how they're looking over here. It really says to me that there's a lack of alignment going on within you, and you're being, encouraged, especially with this turtle energy casting its loving glow, that, you deserve to take some time to listen to what your body, your mind, your spirit is telling you. Maybe you're having dreams and or nightmares that are highlighting, some inner anxieties for you, or what needs to change or what needs to be different. But it really feels like there's a lack of equilibrium and there's a lack of cohesiveness going on. That feels in a way self-imposed, which is not to say that you don't have external circumstances that are affecting you or as a cause for this, but it feels self-imposed in the way that only you can make shifts around it and change it, right? Let's get some advice. Oh, wow. Okay. So here we have the 5 of Swords as your advice. It's the second time you're getting it here, and now it's your advice. Okay, so what I'm drawn to with this, especially when this comes up as your advice, I always kind of consider the moth energy in this context and look at all these people trying to have their say and tell this moth what to do, right? Moths are very connected to empath energy. It shows someone who is, feels very deeply, is very sensitive, who is very much affected by the harsh energies of others, the energy of others in general. I'm really hearing that what's coming up for you as your advice is clearance. Any aspect of your life that comes into the Five of Swords category, whether this is you, the Five of Swords, when it's personal, is when we act in ways that are of disservice to our own integrity or ourselves. Five of Swords is when we do not feel well and we really need to stay home from work, but we don't. We go in anyway because we don't want to be seen as lazy. We're afraid not to get our work done. We're afraid what our boss is going to say. We're task mastering ourselves, going, no, push through. That is Five of Swordsing to ourselves. When we let someone in a relationship disrespect us or treat us less than, how we deserve to be treated, that is Five of Swordsing ourselves, right? In response to someone else, Five of Swordsing us, right? These are the ways in which we act, not in service to ourselves. This is when we allow our own integrity and what's best for us from a soul level to be compromised by our own mind or the thoughts or challenging opinions of others. You're being asked to really take a look at that and really consider how you can soften some of these aspects and shift this into that of self-acceptance, self-love. And if you really come from a place, and it's not easy, okay? It's not, I'm not saying it's like a snap of the fingers, but if you can adopt an intention at least, right? We're not always going to get it right and be perfect, right? But if we can adopt an intention of treating yourself like you would a child that you really care about, I find that can be incredibly effective when we have this Five of Swords energy going on, right? Especially when it's our advice, right? It's like the way that I'm talking to myself. If I had a child that I really cared about, whether my child or a child I know, whatever it is, and they weren't feeling well, would I force them to go to school? Would I tell them to buck up and like get with it? And like, that's why I feel like the child thing is coming in, right? It's like, would you be like, get it together and go to school? I don't care if you're sick. Like, you wouldn't do that, right? Most likely you wouldn't do that. So really think about the ways in which you talk to yourself and the ways in which you allow yourself to be treated, right? And how that comes into or doesn't come into alignment with how you would treat a child that you really love, right? Words, actions, energy. Let's go ahead and get an oracle. I have a new oracle deck that one of my dear clients and friends gifted me. I'm using this today. I'm really obsessed with it. It's an animal chakra deck. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so you have, I am the master of my domain. Courage, personal power, and that's the lion and the solar plexus chakra. So solar plexus chakra is about the seat of your confidence, right? It's about how you perceive and move in the world. And what's really interesting about this is that when we allow ourselves to be treated poorly, either by ourselves or by other people, that really comes down to our solar plexus chakra, our seat of confidence. Because if we are fully steeped into our confidence and knowing, we don't accept ill treatment of ourselves, right? It's just kind of how it works. So I am the master of my domain, courage, personal power. That this is a really beautiful way to end, saying that you absolutely have the power, authority, and right to live life in a way that feels good for you, where you are honoring what your needs are outside of any kind of expectations or analysis paralysis or fear, either brought on by others or induced, within yourself. Okay? This is, I don't know if there's a better way to just say like, you do you. Courage, personal power. You're being asked to really step more fully into that energy. Have you ever noticed that people who are I've met some, successful people in my life, and I've kind of thought like, what makes them so successful? Like, what is that energy about? And something that I have found is a common thread is they do not feel this need to come up out of their own energy from a place of like they can't be swayed or moved to anything. Like it's really King of Wands energy. It's like, no, I say no and I mean no and I don't need to explain it. Or I'll say yes, and when I say yes, I mean it, right? Because they're not going to agree to anything or do anything that elicits any kind of Five of Swords or any kind of analysis paralysis or any kind of, lack of sleep. Right? And it's because they have that courage and that personal power enough to set those healthy boundaries within and for themselves, and by extension, other people. Because when you respect yourself, your time, your efforts, your emotional reserves, all of that, then other people do too. Right? That's just how it goes. And if you do and then they don't, then it becomes a lot more obvious that they're not. It's an element of discord, and you're able to see it a lot more clearly, right? Because that's acting at odds to how you choose to respect yourself and embody your own energy and truth, right? But yes, my darling Virgos, I love that this came up for you. Courage, personal power. I am the master of my domain, moving through the world like the only way you could ever get it wrong is to not be true to yourself, right? As cliche as it is, cliche for a very good reason. And with that being said, beautiful Virgos, I'm sending you so many blessings and wishing you a very, very, very happy first half of November. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. We're having issues with the algorithm and something is going on with this channel. I made a video about it, and this is me. If you want to stay subscribed, please comment on this video. Please like it. Please engage so that you can stay subscribed and I can, you know, continue to show up in your feed and come into your life. And with that being said, again, I'm so excited to announce my new membership for Be Your Own Intuitive courses. Again, the waitlist link is in the description box below, and I'm very excited to see all of you guys over there. With that being said, thank you so much for being here, and most of all, and as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.